Hello, 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 amazing people, amazing family. I hope you're well and enjoying your life, your day, your evening, wherever you are. Um, so please share your location, your name, what you do, and I'll be happy to introduce you today with a wider community. And that is the beauty of this thing that we call LinkedIn, right? Social networking. And one of the ways to network is to stay engaged with such sessions. So thank you very much. Uh, at a very short notice, I actually thought that we should do a very quick live with a great person I recently came to know, and she is an ATS Resume expert and an interview coach based in Canada. Her name is Samia Zafar, and we will talk about what the hell is this ATS? Yeah, I was on a webinar. I was conducting a webinar earlier this week, and a lot of people just could not really understand how ATS can help them find a job opportunity in North America, particularly. So, without any further ado, we have Samia Zafar. Hello, Samia.
Hello, hi everyone. Good to be here. Thank you so much, Hamad Siddiqui bhai, for inviting me.
No, thank you for spending time. I know it's working from home has advantages as well as a bit
Yes,
of downside also because you have to take care of so many other things that
yes.
otherwise if you're at office you don't really see until you come back
Mhm.
home. But it's such a pleasure.
Same,
Hopefully we will have decent traction from the community, although it was a short notice for a lot of people. But still, usually these live sessions people watch pre-recorded or after it is done. So we will hopefully get some interesting traction from this. So before we go take a deeper dive into what this ATS thing is, um, tell us something about yourself. How did you, as an immigrant, what was some of the things that you did when you came here? I know you have a very different background and you pivoted into a very, very different profession. And this is what we see all the time immigrants doing. And those immigrants who are more successful do it more strategically. So, uh, very quickly in 2 3 minutes, what your background has been and how did you pivot into resume writing profession, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, as most of the people, my connections and my friends, LinkedIn family know, I'm a physician. So, I got formally educated to be a physician, and I worked as a physician for a good 8 years. And then, when we started our family, we decided to move to Canada because Canada is the place to be. And we thought, our family could have a better lifestyle, life standard, and it is a land of opportunities. So, keeping all those things in mind, we decided to immigrate to Canada. Canada was very warm, welcoming us, and with open arms. Um, and then we landed up here. And then, as all the immigrants, they struggle. They come here with a different mindset, and then keeping in mind that okay, Canada is a land of opportunities. We'll get multiple opportunities, and it will be a matter of time before we'll be successful in our field. Um, but most of the immigrants who land here, they land here without proper knowledge and proper preparation. How to first of all get settled here, survive, and then do excel in their related industries and in their fields. So that was one of the points that motivated me to do something in this field, share my experiences and my knowledge, and how you can uh, approach this land of opportunities in a better way. So this is what I do now, and getting a very tremendously, amazing help response from all the LinkedIn family members, my connections, and planning to do it for a while now, inshallah.
Great.
And
Um,
looking forward to, yeah.
Yeah. And as you know, you and I, we both work with our clients not only in Canada but in other parts of the world also. Um, and a lot of people are interested in coming to Canada, and they struggle. Everybody says that you have to the initial couple of years is a struggle, and you had commented also the post I wrote yesterday. So if you create a struggle, it will be a struggle for you.
Yes.
But if you create opportunities, you will not only create opportunities for yourself, but you create opportunities for other people. And this is exactly what you are doing. This is exactly what I'm into. We are creating opportunities for other people, the people who are in my network, in your network, and together in our network.
Yes.
So very quickly, Samia and I, we are collaborating to launch a joint initiative. She has tremendous expertise in resume writing, ATS resume writing, and interview coaching, and she's been very successful in getting her clients placed in the Canadian job market. I have expertise in LinkedIn, and together these two expertise, we're going to develop a joint program, which means that anybody who is, because a lot of clients who come to me for LinkedIn, they need ATS resume also, and a lot of clients that come to Samia for ATS resume, they need LinkedIn, and the combination of these two actually work phenomenally. So
It
this
does.
is something which has already started. The whole collaboration has already started, and hopefully, as soon as the formal lockdown is over, we are planning to meet and kind of formalize it like in a more structured manner. Um, so, Samia, what the hell is this ATS resume? I mean, we hear it all the time, but not everybody is familiar, particularly in our subcontinent in South Asia. People
Yeah.
are not really familiar with ATS resume. So, what the hell it is?
Yeah, it's not as bad as it looks and it portrays to be, ATS, or Applicant Tracking System, is a software that organizations use mostly for the recruitment purposes. It's basically a database of the candidates that has applied to the organization or have worked there, or for the future job postings that the HR is going to apply. So basically, it's a database to keep record of all the candidates that come across that organization. So it contains each and every information about you, when the first time you contacted that HR recruiter person, and what was your the results of the job search, your resume, all the details. It's a database first of all. And now, why ATS is portrayed to be, so difficult to get through, and your resume, it apparently gets stuck passing through the ATS. So let me go a bit into the detail how the job search process is here in Canada, according to what I have learned and what I've seen in my experience, and how it works, so that my audience, get a bit of idea why ATS and why it's important, and why LinkedIn optimization and how they work together. So let me quote an example here. Say Government of Ontario, it posts a job, right? So Government of Ontario is a well sought after job posting. Many candidates, if not hundred, like thousands, hundreds apply to that position. So when a job gets posted, many recruiters across the province or even different provinces, they approach that job opportunity, that job opening, and what they do, they first go through their own database, that's ATS, their software, whatever they're using, and they try to find the candidates they're already in contact with, and they know, and they are in their database, and try to find a match for the posted job. They then contact those clients and tell them, okay, this is the job posting we come across. It matches your expertise. Are you interested? And then forward us your resume, right? And other scenarios that recruiters, they post on different job portals, LinkedIn, for example. So now, if your LinkedIn is optimized and your resume is optimized to, and it's updated on the portal, obviously, when they search with the keywords for the posted job, your profile comes in their search, and then they will contact you directly, and you will ending up handing your resume in their emails in their hand. So this is an overview of how ATS works, and how, when a job gets posted, what's the initial basic steps that you need to keep in mind. So now I've come to a point where, your optimized LinkedIn profile plus your updated, optimized ATS resume is important to make you seen and visible on this job portal. So
So the
this is the
question is, he just actually explained what ATS stands for, Application Tracking System. It's so just to come to simplify, it's a computerized system
yeah,
which already has those keywords that they are looking for, the employers are looking for built in. So you can imagine the kind of environment we are in. Time is money, time is everything. So instead of going through several thousand resumes, and that's how many people apply for jobs, because it's an immigrants country, um, and it's very humanly impossible for people to go through all the applications that they receive.
yeah,
So Samia, exactly what happens is that they either so the employers either use LinkedIn or other portals such as Indeed or Workopolis to and post jobs there.
yes,
And based on the application they run, the number of applications they get, they run those applications through their
mm,
ATS system,
yes,
which means that if those keywords that are there
yes.
in their database, if those keywords match with the keywords that are
In your
nicely,
profile, yes,
strategically, and very cleverly placed in your profile as well as on your ATS
ATS
resume,
resume, yes,
your chances of appearing in that short list
yeah.
improve. As simple as that.
Yeah, that's what we call, to be seen. Make yourself self visible. Let me like give you an example here. When you search something on Google, like you're looking for photos of cats. You search photos of cats or just cats photos, and then Google shows you the search results, right? It won't show you dogs or birds or anything else. So same goes with an ATS. When the job gets posted and the recruiter enters the keyword and then it searches on the job portals, if your profile and your optimized profile and your optimized ATS has those keywords, you will automatically come on top in their search results, and they will contact you directly to know more about you, ask for your resume, and the things proceed in that way. So this is simple, as simple as
Great.
that.
So yeah, I mean it sounds complicated, but it's not that complicated. What you
Yeah.
need is somebody who understands how ATS works and how ATS works in certain sectors and environment.
Yes.
So to take it forward, it's for instance there are and recruitment is a very very specialized business in Canada and in all, whole of North America and in Europe and Australia and New Zealand also. Um, so if there are recruiters who are recruiting for engineers, they would specialize in that. So they would actually understand uh, more or less what the employer is looking for. And for those who are migrating, I know I have a dear friend, Hassan Qureshi, who is an HR expert, by the way, very high level HSBC kind of or American Express or something. I mean, very senior level, large organization kind of a guy. Who actually we work together and we optimize his profile. He's actually waiting to come to Canada soon. And Asan, if you have any question, please ask. I think you should be on this live also, given your global experience to share. So the system how it works, even if companies, larger companies, have their HR departments, they outsource the recruitment to like different companies. There are recruiters who would work for these. So they're reducing cost. And the cost of recruitment is pretty high if you hire recruiters within the organization. So only very large organizations do that, but usually they outsource that function. And recruiters, bread and butter is recruitment, which means that if they don't recruit, they don't get paid.
Yes.
So it's not that they're refusing or rejecting everybody. What they're looking for is the best fit for that particular
Yes.
job.
Yes.
Because people don't have time. They're not looking for 10 possible candidates. They're looking probably for two or three
Best
candidates
fit.
to interview. Is that right,
Yes.
Samir?
Yeah. So let me add it here. According to my experience and what happens with my clients, uh, once a job get posted for the same organization and same position, um, my clients have been contacted by like multiple 10 or so recruiters who are looking for a best candidate for the same posted job. So this is how it works. So everybody's on the same mission. They wanted to find the best match. You are there to prove that you are the best match. So they have entered their requirements, their keywords, everything in their database. And then if you have an optimized ATS resume and an optimized LinkedIn profile, automatically you're making their job easy as well to give them the best match, and also getting yourself be seen and visible. That's the most important thing. Get yourself visible, get yourself seen, make your profile optimized, make your resume optimized, so that when they search and you have it all, you have the skills, you have the expertise. So don't put yourself down or don't underestimate yourself. Portray yourself to the best of the best possibility, and then get yourself seen. That's what I always say. Make yourself visible through the tools. Everything is available. The tools. You know the strategies, the plan, how to make yourself visible. So have a plan, strategy, and work in that direction. And no matter, you won't be succeed.
Great. So, introducing Sonia Chaudhary. Um, I met Sonia only yesterday. She. I mean, she is just great. That this is what I can I can tell you. And she is in information technology field, based out of US now. And the question is great. And this question will actually help others understand uh, how the ATS database works. So the question is, does it mean that each company has its own ATS database? I mean, we can expand on this question. Thank you,
Yes.
Sonia, for asking this question. I think it's a great question to ask because that will actually generate more information and we'll learn more on this particular thing. Thanks, Sonia.
Yes, each organization, there are tons of like ATS softwares out there. So each organization chooses whatever is best for them and is their own database. So, but most of all of the ATS softwares, they work on the same principles. So basic principles are almost the same, and then the organization or their HR department recruiters, they can program it the way they want. So it always can be programmed according to their wishes, how they would want to post a job posting, what are they looking for, the key searches. If there are anything that they don't want in the candidates, they can mention it. So the requirements and what we call like knockout questions. So for example, if you're in Canada and you're applying for a job, so if the job requires, only Canadian citizen can apply, and if you're not eligible and up to the criteria, it will automatically filter you out. It won't shortlist you. So ATS, different organizations have different softwares and they program it according to their needs and according to their volumes. Basically, it's a database that helps them increase their efficiency and make the screening process easy for them.
And see the companies that offer ATS system, they're constantly evolving, and they're adding, making system more robust. Like LinkedIn has become more robust than it was 5 years ago or maybe 10 years ago. There are more things that you can do. So recruiters, for instance, if the recruiters are searching for people like you using LinkedIn Recruiter, they have different fields based on which they will actually search for a candidate like you. So just to kind of stop here, Samia, I actually let me see if I could share something interesting for. I think I can. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now this is like Julie Page. She's a recruiter, and she just like 15 minutes ago updated this her post. Like there's a post in which she is actually asking for a property accountant for a 5-month contract position. Position will be fully remote. 3 years experience in proper. So because she needs someone very quickly, so she is actually taking what we call a shorter route. And instead of putting up an advertisement out, which hopefully she will do in the process, just to get attraction quickly, she has added the job, the portal, like onto a profile. And here she has actually added the opportunity also. So people who are following Julie or are in her network will be able to see that job and can directly apply for the job. And sooner you apply for such positions, better your chances are for landing in opportunities. So tapping opportunities ahead of the game is the key. And in a lot of instances, I'm purely talking from my experience point of view, or my experience standpoint, as the proper English goes, is that a lot of people struggle because they don't have a strategy. They don't really know how certain tools can help them. Now, people can develop their own resume, and back home, people still develop their own resume, and there are resume writers also. But those resumes don't work here. You have to either learn how to create ATS resume, or what I call is that you know immigrants like you and me, we come here, uh, and instead of getting into the struggle mode, if we put ourselves into a challenging mode and try to deal with the challenge by investing time, energy, and bit of money, and shorten the time span that you would be required to settle into a job market. If you can do that, you are a winner, right? So in that scenario, what are some of the very initial things you would recommend or suggest for immigrants, particularly in the Canadian job market, even in the US job market? That's a pretty large immigrants market too. To do before arriving Canada and immediately after arriving Canada? Like, what are 3 or 4 things that you would recommend them?
Yeah. First of all, I just wanted to add something regarding the previous query, like about ATS and database. So, with increasing digitization and with AI and automation and big data on the rise, these ATS softwares are continuously evolving, right? And recruitment firms are using it to increase their efficiency and to make the hiring process efficient and effective. Also, once you are decide to come here, land here in Canada, you need to do a bit of a research. First of all, I would say about your industry, about your role. How is your industry and your role performing in Canada? What is the scope? So once you have done your studies regarding your industry and your roles, definitely. And then second, you approach the things. Okay, what are the steps in getting myself prepared to approach those opportunities? So because many new immigrants, they come with the mindset that okay, there's struggle anyway, so they come prepared to do the struggle. It's not the case always. If you're well prepared, if you have done research about what you have, what are you bringing with you, your skill, your expertise, and how are you going to use that in the Canadian market. So plan, first of all, have a strategy, and then prepare yourself. All the tools are available. There are people who can coach you, who can guide you. You can learn from their experiences. So landing here blindly is not a good option. It's not worth it. And once you know new immigrants, it's a very common thing. They land here, they start doing what's called the survival jobs, and once they get too comfortable, it's very hard for them to step out of their comfort zone. So don't get yourself to that point. And once you come here prepared, research on your industry and the scope, and then you target the preparation points well. I don't think there should be a chance to struggle that you have that you need to always struggle. It's not the case always. So just strategize and plan according to and prepare yourself.
And one more thing that we were in this clubhouse room like yesterday, that the room that our dear friend Nick Nurani runs, and there was this discussion as to whether people should. So I'm just trying to kind of fine tune the thought process here, whether we should start doing survival jobs, or better if we volunteer for organizations and focus next few months in kind of investing your time into volunteering, what would be the best way going forward? So I would give my 2 cents to it, and then I will take your thought into this whole thing. You rightly said once you are into survival jobs, you will, and the name reflects survival, which means that you will survive, which means
Yes.
that you will be able to pay rent, you will be able to pay your insurance, and you will be able to buy food, enough food to for yourself or for your family. But those survival jobs are just survival jobs, right? There is no growth in those jobs. Whereas if you can afford, and I know a lot of immigrants can, because they are like legally landed immigrants and they have some financial resources to support them. If they start looking for some volunteering opportunities, the volunteering experience actually adds a lot more value than sharing on your resume experience of your survival job, because everybody knows that the survival jobs are short term. People do those jobs because they don't have anything else to do. Whereas if you are doing volunteering, there are a couple of things there. Number one, I mean, it actually shows that you have that leadership capabilities. I was reading a report by Deloitte, and they did survey of like thousands and thousands of recruiters and HR experts. You know, if somebody has shown volunteering in the resume, what are the chances of that person being called for the interview? And the result was 80% higher chances. And the reason for that is not everybody would go for volunteering, right? Only some people who have that courage, the capability uh, to contribute and to learn would go and do volunteering,
Yes.
which means invest. I mean, this is my formula, at least. So, mentioning volunteering in your resume is better than mentioning a job, a survival job. And the secondly, volunteering provides you opportunities to network, whereas survival jobs don't. Survival jobs, you go 5 hours or 6 hours or 8 hours. I mean, you would hardly find time other than that half an hour break that you get to even breathe. And so how would you
That's very
network
true.
with people, right? And by the time you come back home, you are half dead and you just want to eat and relax. So the opportunity cost of doing volunteering, you can compare it with volunteering. So what is
Yes.
your take on that?
Yeah, I totally agree with you on this, and whatever you have added so far totally makes sense and 100% agree. And also, in my experience, I've seen if professionals they start volunteering in their industry, in their related fields, they get referrals, and they are offered the position if there is any open position later during their time. They get offered the role, the position, because the organization has already seen you volunteering there and working for them. So it's just like if you are proactive, you are doing volunteering, and you are doing your best and taking it as a job, and you think that it's adding to your experience. Mindset is everything again. So if you are volunteering but you are still adding your best, being proactive and as a paid employee. So you're already showing the organization what you have, what you're worth of, and what you can bring to the organization. So you're already making yourself seen and visible. So I have experiences with this. The clients who are volunteering, they get first-hand job offers. If there is an open position, they get offered the roles first. So that's a very important step in networking. Volunteering is being physically present in the environment, getting to know how the actual physical working environment, getting the experience, and then more doors will open for you. That's how it
Absolutely.
is.
So for myself, for instance, I have a business, and as I also know, Samia, you spend a lot of time and you're very busy. We all are busy. Like doing your own business in this environment, and in fact, in any environment, really is a time-consuming thing. And when you're delivering, like, the quality service also. But I still volunteer with the Chartered Institute of Marketing and Management as their business development lead, or chief business development officer, is the title they've given me. And I spend at least 3 to 4 hours every week on that project. There is no immediate return, so I'm not expecting anything financially from them. But the objective is to be there and be seen. So, and that one thing is really the driving force for this whole motivation. And the number of contacts I've built there, uh, the learning opportunities for me and for those people who are connected with me. You know, so what we are doing, as I always say in my coaching also, start giving. Once you start giving, you will start receiving. The channel will
Yes.
open. People will
Yes.
start recognizing you, and people appreciate you. We have a question. We have a comment first. All right. That's Thank you very much, Shiv. I hope
Awesome.
you will get it. Abdurrauf is asking what is the appropriate what is what at what percentage is so. I
Inappropriate.
mean, I mean the percentage question is probably the most trickiest question to me,
Yes.
because it's people calculate percentage in different environments and keeping different fundamentals in space. So, what is your take on this?
Yeah. So I'll quote from my experience. Most of the resumes I get for initial screening, if they're compatible with ATS and with the posted job, usually they fall into 20 to 30% of compatibility or match rate percentage. Um, so with all the tools and skills that I work with, it's recommended that if your resume is compatible up to, I will start give you a range 70 to 80% or more. You can even make it up to 100%. I have made it to 95, 98% as well. So there's a range. Usually, what resumes I get are in this range, 20 to 30% compatible. And once the recommended percentage is 80% or more, 70 to 80% or more. That's what I would say.
Good. Uh, Limitation. So on your resume, as I said earlier, you cannot spam your resume with keywords.
No, no, no.
Once you have done that, then you are done with it, right? Similarly, with your LinkedIn, you cannot spam your LinkedIn with those keywords or hashtags. So that's why it's like you get fever, you take maximum 2 Tylenols. I mean, you can take three also if you want. You can take four also, but you're going to hurt your liver then, right? So you need to exactly know what is best for you. And I have seen clients with 2 or 3 keywords in their profile get traction, and clients with whole 220 characters filled up don't get any
Oh,
traction.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like multiple factors. It's not only the keywords. There are so many other things. I mean, I cannot talk about the resume, but from
I'll come
the
to that.
LinkedIn perspective, there are 29 checkpoints in a LinkedIn profile, 29 that you need to work on to get noticed. As
Okay.
simple as that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same with, sorry, I'll
yeah,
add an
good.
ATS compatible resume. Don't, storm your resume with all the keywords and think that now this is the best percentage match. The content is very important at the same time. Ultimately, your resume, if it gets filtered through the software, or if you are contacted directly by a recruiter and you're uh, forwarding your resume, ultimately a recruiter, a hiring manager, a human will read it, and now your content comes into play. If your content is not powerful, it does not grab the attention of the hiring manager, it's not your expertise, your skills are not showcased properly, and you are not portrayed as the best fit for the posted job, you won't make it for through the interviews. So passing through the software ATS is one point, but it does not guarantee that you will end up landing interviews, because your content is should be powerful and impactful at the same time.
Yes. So, and Vikash, um, so it's not only about Canada. It's about all the countries that are, even UAE, for instance, and Saudi. They are using ATS software. And as I said earlier, it's all about reducing the time they would spend in sifting candidates or identifying those candidates. So as Samia just said, the first process is breaking that code at that moment in time, and going in front of a human to evaluate you. And what happens when a human gets your resume, or you're lucky enough to beat the ATS system, and you're successful in going in front of a human, they would actually look at your social profile. They would review how whatever you have said. So that's the next process that they have. Again, as I said, their objective is to identify the best possible candidate for the job, because that's if they don't find the best possible candidate, they're not going to get paid.
Yes.
So with that, if you think more positively, your question is, it sounds a bit like on the negative side, but if you think positively, what they are trying to do is to find the best candidate,
Yes.
and that's how they will get paid. So it's not about our candidate, it's about the best candidate, and the quality, of course, is the prime
Yeah.
concern. And this is exactly what you said. Your content has to be great and showing exactly who you are. So, Abdul Rahman, how do you manage? Interesting question.
Mhm.
And I know you get this question all the time, and I get this question because, Hamad, do you know anything about engineering? How do you optimize my profile?
Yeah.
And we all have an answer to this question. Please go ahead and respond to Abdul Rahman.
Yeah. Thank you, Abdurrahman. Yes, I always get this question. Since you don't know my industry or my role, how are you going to write my resume? So, to be more specific, it's not a resume writing, it's a resume optimization. And m- crafting a resume or transforming your CV into a resume that is compatible with the software and comes up at the best match, including all the keywords related to your industry and your role. So I work with my clients back and forth because you're the one knowing your role, your industry best, and what you have achieved so far, your job description, but I know how to portray it. I know how to showcase yourself and how to bring those numbers from 30% to more than 80%. So we work together, and I'll ask my clients a few questions related to their job and their industry that will help me, in optimizing your resume, and I also take suggestions. But the skills and the tools that are needed to create an ATS compatible resume, I have those. So it's all working together, and I can work with any industry, any role that comes across, because this is how it is. You know your expertise, I know my expertise. Together, we create something that is good for your industry and for my industry as well, and is compatible with ATS. This is how it works. It's not one-sided job.
Absolutely. So, uh, you learn with experience. And so when people ask me to review their LinkedIn profile, it literally takes me less than a minute uh, to evaluate it. Less than a minute, maybe 30, 40 seconds. I can
Same here.
literally scroll down and I can tell you uh, where the issues are. And these are the things that people are not really able to see themselves because they don't know. So this is great. We have somebody appreciating. Thank you, Jangir, for appreciating. So do we need two CVs then? One for Canada and second for row. What is row
I guess rest of the world.
of the world? No, I think, see, it's not about Canada again. Again, going back to the same thing. It's not about Canada. It's about any country or any organization that you want to target and that uses ATS system. As simple as that.
Yes.
Harminder, thank you very much for joining in. If you have any questions, please ask. Um, well, yeah, ATS is a machine, and machine cannot be transparent. Machine
ATS, yeah.
machine can only be transparent the way we want to make it transparent.
ATS is just a software, a tool. That's there to increase the efficiency, both for recruiters and for job seekers. It's a tool that increases the efficiency of the hiring or job seeking process. As simple as that. So,
Absolutely.
how we would want to look at it is up to us.
Absolutely. Well, matter of choice, wherever you want to go, or you want to stay wherever you are. Uh, the key thing, the key message that I would share is that if you do not do the things the way things should be done, you will never achieve it. And I often say, remember and keep saying to myself also, Tony Robbins' great saying, if you want to change the output, you have to change the input and the process. If you don't change the input and the process, the output will remain the same.
Definitely.
What do you think it is in AI will impact job seekers? Uh, See, in the modern age, continuous learning is the only way to succeed in your career. I mean, look at doctors, engineers, lawyers, accountants, uh, marketing professionals, sales professional, people like me and people like Samia. We, I mean, there is a lot of time during the day or a week that we spend in our own development every week, every day at times.
Every day. Yeah.
So, so if we don't do that, then we will be left out of the crowd. I mean, we will part of the crowd that is not doing it, and there are only few people who are doing it, and they will excel because they have more knowledge. So, I mean, again, I keep going back to my coaching thing. I always tell people, those people who come to me for career coaching, and I tell them, if you really want to stand out, you have to do things in a different manner. It can be the similar things, but you have to package it differently so that you can be spotted. People should be able to recognize you. For instance, if an accountant comes to me and talks to me about LinkedIn optimization, I mean, every accountant would do at the end of the day more or less the same things.
Yes.
How do you then help one accountant stand out from the crowd? Now
Yeah.
that's the art. That's the art that accountants don't know. That's the art that I know for LinkedIn and Samia knows
Yes.
for resume writing. So maybe you want to add
Yeah.
anything there?
Yeah, same. I agree. When you go out of the way to do something, you will stand out. You will get noticed. Don't do what everybody else is doing. Robots can do everything same way. Don't throw yourself in the pile of robots. Stand out. Do something different if you want to achieve different results.
So again, because it's an interesting conversation, because things will keep changing. Even our cell phone gets a new software, right? And when it gets the new software, it has a new interface. It has so many new features. So it will keep happening. Unless we don't keep improving ourselves, we will never achieve what we want to achieve. So think about it. If you want to stay healthy, you will eat well every day. Yeah. You will drink a lot of water every day. You will walk or exercise every day. I mean, occasionally you can say, okay, today is not, I don't have the mood, or too cold outside, or whatever, or it's raining. But you have to do it regularly, often,
Consistently. Yeah.
on a longer period of time. If we keep doing it, we will achieve what we want to achieve.
Yeah. And ATS is just a program, like a device that the humans control and they can program. ATS does not do anything on its own. So,
Yeah, that's this is this is a nice one,
yeah.
Dostan. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. We don't
I
have
was
time.
going through the same process. Yeah, if like I quoted the example of Government of Canada. Once all the recruiters they shortlist their candidates and they send to Government of Canada, the Government of Ontario. So imagine what happens. They get bombarded with like thousands of job postings. So what you think the recruiters or the hiring manager will sit there manually and spend like months, if not years, screening those resumes? No. So ATS comes in handy. It is an automation tool. It's an artificial intelligence tool that is needed for this more digitized world. So it increases the efficiency. It makes your job easy, cuts down the time, and this is how it is.
And this one is really, really interesting from Vikas. So Vikas, no, you're just commenting so nicely, and this is really generating interesting debates.
Yeah.
Uh, People don't believe in LinkedIn, and there are Believe me, there are people who do not believe in LinkedIn. And Sami and I have seen someone only yesterday.
Vikash is on LinkedIn as well. I see
I
he is.
know he is there. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. He's responding to us on LinkedIn, through
Yes.
LinkedIn. Now, there is something called believing in, and there's something called keeping your eyes shut. So if you keep your eyes shut, nothing will happen. The life will be normal, right? Um, what is your take on this one, Samia?
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I've uh, I've said my side of the story.
Right.
Be seen, and then you will believe. Once you step in, and you will start noticing things, and then you will see to believe it if you want to
And
do it that way.
yeah, and one thing I would like to add here is that um, I mean, why would Gary Vee needs to be on LinkedIn, for instance? Does he really need to be on LinkedIn? I mean, he is on LinkedIn. He has a team that actually runs his LinkedIn account, and he has over 4 million following on LinkedIn, one of the largest. Why Shea Robotham, for instance, had to be on LinkedIn, or Shani Murray had to be on LinkedIn. I mean, they're already successful entrepreneurs, right? And there's so many others, like Talal Murad, for instance, from Dubai. Why he needed to be on
Yeah.
LinkedIn, right? Uh, so one has to look at things from the why perspective. Why, and this is again from Simon Sinek's golden circle thing. You need to know your why. If you can
Yes.
figure out your why, your what, how, and what will happen automatically. And if you're going on the reverse side, you're looking at what first, then the how and the why never will happen. So again, I think we are helping you understand your why, Vikas here. Abbas
Yes.
mentioned.
And you have
Various-
to experience it too. You
Yeah,
believe it. Take actions.
yeah,
Don't just sit there and ask questions. Asking questions is important, but taking action is important at the same time.
absolutely.
Start experiencing things to believe, and then move forward.
Yeah. It is something recent tool, or it has been in existence since past 20 years?
Yeah, it's been there for many years because it's a tool that increases efficiency and efficacy of the recruitment process. So, but it keeps on evolving according to new technology.
Yes, Sonia, but he is still not sure whether it should be
For
a
Canada
Canadian
or Row.
Canadian focused or a UK focused or somewhere else focused ATS. No, but thank you, Vikas, for
Yes,
for your continued. Um,
to
Absolutely,
volunteer
do it
to.
if you can, right? If you have those skills, please do that.
Yes.
You
So
need more
again, sorry,
explanation.
I want to mention one thing. As Bikash asked, yes, ATS resume, and if you're targeting a job posting, please design your resume or tailor your resume specifically to match the job posting. Your generic resume, your general resume won't work all the time, and it doesn't show your interest and your enthusiasm for the job posting. So show that you're interested. You are really looking forward to join them, and show it through your resume. This is how it will work for you.
Absolutely, and you actually nailed it so nicely, Samia. Now, the next question people usually ask me when I talk about ATS, which you should get one, and they say, okay, so we get a generic resume and then we get an ATS resume, then you want us to tailor or at least suggesting tailor your resume based on the job requirement. That's too much of work. And I go back and tell them, okay, looking for a job is a full-time job.
Yes. Yes,
It's
it
good
is.
for it. But say you do it full time or you do it half time and get rewards, part time rewards. Um, so how does it work? You have a generic resume and then you have an ATS. How does this whole thing works?
So generic resume is a resume that fits your role and your industry. It has keywords and it has all your skills and experiences that match your role for a certain industry, right? So it could be good across dozens of job postings. But once, and it could have a match rate between like 50%, 40 to 50%. So a generic resume will fit your role generally. But if you want to target a job posting, you need to tailor your resume specifically. Meaning you have to match your job description, the keywords and everything to that of the posted job. Only then it will increase your chances uh, of being up in the job in the searches and more keyword matches. Your generic resume will be a good fit for your role, but So specifically designing it will increase your chances of landing more interviews.
Absolutely. Fatik Naeem, second question: if your resume gets downloaded, does it mean you have passed ATS screening?
It could it depends on the different scenarios where you send your resume. Maybe sometimes if you're contacted directly by the recruiters, they ask you to send in their emails. It doesn't mean that it has passed the ATS or what's the status of your resume at that point. But it could mean yes, if it has passed through the ATS, it automatically downloads or opens it in their software. So it could depend on the scenarios how you sent your resume and where.
Great, Rajana. Thank you very much uh, for asking questions and be with us. Um, you are amazing, Vikas. You are amazing because you actually asked some interesting questions, and we really enjoyed it. Um, and those questions were really, really valuable for those people who are confused, who really do not understand how this whole thing works. And unless we don't understand that, then we won't be able to use it. Yeah. Uh, Zubair, okay, so this is again an interesting one. Zubair, okay, so I get a lot of messages, and so does Samia and people like us from subcontinents, subcontinent mostly. I get some from other parts of the world also, and these are the people who are looking for a job in Canada because they know that we are in Canada, for instance. The reality of the matter is that Canadian employers will hire you only if you are quote unquote out of this world candidate, which means that they do not have anyone to fill in the job uh, locally, which means that what you require is a work authorization to work in Canada, which means either a work permit, a PR, permanent residence, or citizenship status. If you don't have any of these three, or at least one of that, you would have at least one of those, then you can. And then you have to be in Canada. So those people, some of my clients are not in Canada, and they start shooting off like their resumes and start emailing recruiters. I actually tell them not to because you are actually maligning your position. If you're shortlisted for an interview, you tell them that you are coming in August or September,
Lose your chance.
you
Yeah.
know, reduce your chances. They will usually strike you out from the database. And that can harm your future endeavors. So once you have landed here, because you're landing, and the way I tell people, your landing does not mean that you're ready to look for a job. From your landing date to your probably first proper job search is at least 3 months period. In those 3 months, you are doing so many things. You're
Yes.
getting the license, you are opening a bank account, you're getting your first credit card, you're getting your SIN number. I mean, you're getting your kids to school. There is so much that you have to do in the first 3 months. Place to stay. If there's a family and a friend, you won't stay with them forever, right? So you need to rent out a place. What place to rent out? What if you get the driving license? What kind of a car do you want?
Mhm.
And all that. So you have to deal with all that in the first 3 months, which means that it will at least be 90 days before you start your job search process. So don't apply for jobs if you are not in
Not
Canada.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
that's
also Canadian employers need to go through a lot before they can hire
yeah,
candidates from other countries. They have to justify it. They have to advertise for a certain amount of time. They have to justify that they could not find the required expertise and skill here, and only then. And it's a long process. Usually, it's very unlikely, and they usually avoid the hassle.
absolutely. So from Rizwan, has the pandemic made companies using ATS kind of software more?
Yes, obviously, because many of us we lost our jobs, and there are increased like one job gets posted and gets bombarded with hundreds of applications. So if you are really serious and if you want to approach that targeted opportunity, tailor your resume accordingly. Get yourself seen. So Yes, it's ATS, and also the volume of the candidates or the application increases. The use of ATS it's becoming more because it increases the efficiency and cuts down the time required to for screening.
So what has technically changed in the past, like close to 18 months, as far as the hiring processes are concerned, Samia?
Sorry, can you
What
repeat
has
the
changed in
question?
the past 18 months as far as the hiring processes are concerned?
The stage? Sorry.
The, the hiring processes,
Yeah.
yeah, what has changed in the past 18 months of pandemic? How the hiring has been done? Is the job market getting back to what I call normal or new normal, or are we still struggling to find more opportunities? What's happening? What is the
Yes.
fabric of our job market in Canada at this point in time?
It's different across different industries, I would say. For example, IT field was blooming all this time. You're getting more and more posted jobs. You get more opportunities, and with increasing, as I say, digitization and more automation and AI and big data, and also the remote work, the more use of technology and online learning for kids, especially, and everything's more like online now, and it's so it depends on the industries. IT industry, for example, related to the digital world is blooming. You get more opportunities. Some industries are depending on, the opening and reopening. It's different across different industries, depending on the location, first of all, and what's the required um, expertise they need for this time.
Good. Engineers, by the way, are in short in supply. So
Yeah.
if you're an engineer and you're coming to Canada, the chances are pretty bright as far as what I learned in the past 1 week or so. Ranjana, please do share profile building samples. It will help job seekers. Just Google it. You will find millions of
Tons.
such
Yeah.
things. Whether it will work for you or not, it doesn't work for you. That's something which um, it's like, I usually say WebMD does not work for everyone. So, yeah, so learn it or invest in it. Um, what do you generally mean by optimize LinkedIn profile? Is it not sufficient to if my education job history is posted? There's one great question. Now, LinkedIn provides you different features within a profile. And if you do not utilize those features optimally, then it is not optimized. And the easiest example that I can give from a very Canadian perspective, if it is very hot, which it does not get too hot for a few days, yes, it does in GTA. You turn on your AC in your home and you leave your window open. What will happen?
Mhm.
So you have a facility, but you have to keep the window shut, right? To be able to get the maximum
Understand.
maximum of your air conditioning, right? Similar thing goes when your heating is running. So you're wasting energy, you're wasting money, but you're not enjoying the benefits. So that's the best example that I could give in this perspective. So optimization means using full utilization of all the resources that are available in a best possible manner,
And be
theoretically.
seen.
Yeah.
Be seen.
Ranjana tried everything with couscous. Said you need a coach. Invest into a
Yeah.
coach.
And again, target the specific job
Yeah.
opportunity you're targeting and design your resume accordingly.
Uh, Say that if I am looking for a job, I should get my LinkedIn profile out there. So, I mean, particularly from a very Canadian immigrants' perspective, I say there are three things that are required. Uh, all the immigrants, because we get 300,000 immigrants coming in every year. Um, there are three elements that are generally missing. Number one is the resume, so we don't exactly know how the job market works. Number two is your visibility on LinkedIn, which means your profile, whether your profile is searchable or not. Number three is your network, and you have to find a best combination of these three things to be able to find your way quickly. I mean, eventually people will get it, but that eventually the cost of suffering is much higher than. I mean, I know someone who came here about 18, 19 months ago. He's a power sector engineer, so he was like literally running power plants in Saudi Arabia. Came here for the past 18, 19 months, whatever. He is doing Uber Eat. So he's driving Uber Eat. And somebody referred him to me, he called me, and we spent half an hour evaluating what's going wrong. And these were the things that he really didn't want to invest on. I said, that's the beat then. If you do not really want to invest in yourself, then, may God help you. As simple as that. Sonia, thanks for thanks for this. Yeah, LinkedIn is my passion. I've been coaching on LinkedIn for over, I would say, good 10 years, and I've actually helped a lot of people become phenomenal on LinkedIn. So yeah, that's a tool that's highly underrated tool still. As we all know that only, and Vikas, you can come back on this one. Only 1% people understand how LinkedIn works. Period. Ravanit, thank you very much. Ravanit is a young biotechnologist and technical writer based in India. She is also part of my coaching program, and she's great. Thank you, Ravanit. Thanks, Rizwan. And this is a big one. Zubair, one more question. What should be the response of an interviewee if the interviewer is asking to make a whole plan of some aspect of the interviewer's business strategies? I
I
mean, probably this is okay for the South Asian market. In this market, I don't think. I mean, I don't expect anyone to to ask you to
it
prepare a complete business plan and strategic plan. I mean, at least that.
yeah.
Let's see what Samia has to say on this.
Yeah, as I understand, it could be a part of your technical interview process. They want to see how you perform in the physical environment and what could be your strategies and plans. So if they're asking you in your interview and that's a technical interview, give it your best shot, I would say.
Yeah, but that's a later part of it. Your technical
Later part
interview
of the interview.
is the later part. You've
Yeah.
already been filtered down to maybe just two candidates, right?
Yes.
At that point in time, they would really want to see exactly. They really want to evaluate who is the best one to pick.
Yeah. At that point, you would want to stand out and
Yeah,
give it
yeah.
your best shot.
All right, great. Thanks, Rajna. Well, it is not related to my current engineering work experience. John, volunteering is leadership. Volunteer is taking initiative. Volunteering is putting your time, the time that you can spend in earning money, contributing towards your community. This is what volunteering is. Okay, so it really does not matter where you volunteer. You can volunteer for a church, for charity organizations, for any such organizations. There are thousands and thousands of such organizations around us in this part of the world, and you can still prove yourself and actually highlight your volunteering. A lot of people actually, Samia, do not highlight their volunteering
No.
in their LinkedIn also.
Yes.
So,
It is very
you have
important.
to. Yeah, yeah, talk about it. It's a
Yes.
good thing to talk about.
Like John asked, related to engineering, if you are educating a group of new young fresh graduates, how to target the job market as per your experience, and you are educating them, that's also volunteering.
Absolutely.
Volunteering is just being proactive, step up, see what you can add to around you, and without any expectation of a reward, and that's volunteering. If you will always get noticed, you will add some value, and yeah, people will follow you.
Just,
That's
just
leadership, as you said.
great. Yeah, and just one more thing. If anybody thinks that I don't know how to help people, change that statement. Say,
Yes,
let me think. How can I help people?
yes,
What is one thing I can do? And that one thing will lead you to many opportunities.
yeah. That's one thing I would say. When the people approach me from all over the world, we might not end up working together in always, But my goal is that whatever I can help them with, even if they're approaching me with their resume, I can tell them the scan, the match rate. I can give them tips what their resume needs to, uh, what they need to improve in their resume. And this is all volunteering. This is stepping up. This is being proactive, and this is just giving. So once a while, keep doing that.
Absolutely. So, for instance, on my website,
Yeah.
there is tons of information available for free. On my LinkedIn and your LinkedIn, the information that we are putting out, this is all free information, right? And
Yes.
it actually takes a lot of time. I know you sometime, I think last
Same.
month,
Yeah.
you were
Yeah.
updating one post like 3 a.m. in the morning.
Same
Uh,
with me. My whole day is very busy, but every night, and I sit down, I write something, I do research, and I try to post something valuable that job seekers and my clients or my contacts, my connections can get advantage from, and they get benefit, and just to add value to them.
Absolutely. So, Samia, we actually decided when we spoke to have
Yes.
this session for half an hour.
Okay.
It's already almost 80 minutes. So I think this is but this is great. Like, again, we both spent like 80 minutes multiplied by 2 is 160 minutes of our time, and we try to help people understand
Yeah.
uh, how they can be successful, what are some of the things they should really be focusing at, and what are some of the things they should really be like investing into, whether they're investing their own time and expertise or they're hiring a coach to do
Yes.
it for them, to help them go from where they were, wherever they are to the next level.
Yes.
So, um,
Okay.
this is the last question. Let's
Yes.
do this one
No,
and
no.
we'll cut it off.
Okay, please go ahead, and then I can share.
So, if I'm contacted on LinkedIn and they ask for resume, can you tell me how much are my chances in terms of my resume versus that job?
Resume question. Okay. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, the job search process, how it works. Once a big organization posts a job, and then it gets outsourced, and the other recruiters they start posting it, and they start looking for the potential candidates. So it comes down to the recruiters. They search in their existing database, and they also post on job portals, and they search for new candidates who are the best fit for the posted job. So here your optimized LinkedIn and your optimized ATS resume comes into play. If you are visible, if you get noticed, your keywords match their search, you will come up in their search results, and they will contact you directly. But that doesn't guarantee that you will get the job, but you are one step forward, right? So now they'll ask for your resume, and then they will suggest maybe if they need some changes, and then when they ask for your resume, they will forward it to the organization that actually posted the job in the first place. So now you are kind of shortlisted, and you have reached the final destination, the main organization which posted the job. Again, their ATS, because it's a big organization, they will get hundreds, if not thousands, of job applications. And if your compatibility or match rate is good and your resume is ATS optimized, it has brighter chances of landing amongst the top candidates with that organization, and you will get shortlisted. So, for example, if they want to just shortlist 10 candidates and they get like hundreds of applications, and the top candidates has a match rate, say, for example, 85% or 90%. If your score or compatibility match rate is around that range, you will get shortlisted. And then you will get to move to the next step of screening by their hiring managers, recruiters, and their hiring managers, and then you will get call for interview. So in this way, you're increasing your chances of landing interviews, getting noticed. Even if you're contacted directly on LinkedIn, it's a one step forward towards your job search process. And if you have an optimized resume as well.
Great. Uh, so, by the way, while you were talking, I was on my feed. One of my contact who is also part of my coaching session, Abdul Rahman, is going to connect with you. He will soon be
Thank you.
landing, and he needs to talk to you about his resume. So, Abdurrahman, I've done the
Welcome.
introduction. Connect with Samia on LinkedIn,
Most
and
welcome.
her WhatsApp number is also there.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure that's on board him also because he's in Saudi and WhatsApp doesn't work there. But you can always send her a message and arrange a Zoom call with her.
Sure.
Sonia, if I have an SEO or a great website for free for local website for mom and pop stores, well, yeah, right. So in this case, Sonia, obviously you're just as I said, you're just phenomenal. You're just giving them
That
great
is.
ideas. Now this is what where the referral or the recommendation part comes in, right? If you are helping someone, they will be more than happy to add two lines to your profile, right?
Yes.
Give you recommendations or endorsements. And this is one of the ways to show to the world that you are doing something out of your time uh, for the betterment of the community that you live in. And
And
that's really,
without any expectation and
yes,
without
without any
return. Yeah.
expectation, yes. How can I? Okay, right. So LinkedIn, uh, our LinkedIn's, both of us, we are displaying everything on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Our website is there, our phone numbers are there, our email addresses are there, and and you can always DM us, and yeah, we'll take it on from there,
Yeah.
Rizwan. More than happy to have a Zoom call also with you. I'm sure Samia also have that facility, but at least
Yes.
I have. You can
Yes.
book a
Yeah.
call with me through my website, and I think it's the same thing with you, Samia.
Yeah.
You can-
You can contact me through the DMs here on LinkedIn. There is my WhatsApp number on my profile. Feel free to send me a message and we can take it from there.
Absolutely. So with that, 1 hour and 13 minutes.
Yeah. It
I'm
was amazing. Thank you very
That's
much.
amazing. Thanks for sparing time, and
Thank
let's
you,
keep
actually.
doing such sessions in the future also. Because you see, if you could have just one person think from a different perspective and help that one person land in the in opportunity, that's I think we have achieved our goal um, to help the community. With that, Samia, last words, and then we'll close the session.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I was so looking forward to this session because collaborated to help community, new immigrants who land here without any clue what's going to happen, and they're kind of sure that they need to go through suffering. No, this is not always the case. So learn from the people who are already here, their experiences, and who are offering their help. So that was the mission, and that's the mission we are planning to move forward with it. So thank you very much for your
Great.
support and your recognition.
I
Thank you,
think
LinkedIn family.
we can only clap with two hands. So I'm clapping with two hands
Yes.
for your time,
Thank you so
and
much
thank
for
you
yours.
everyone for participating, and and contributing. So it was just not the participation, you were there,
Yes.
but you also contributed. So particularly Sonia and Rizwan and Vikas and
Yes.
Abdurrahman.
Thank you.
I mean, like if I go on Pawan,
It's a long
Rajna,
list.
Ravneet, everybody, all of you, and just one last thing that I would like to say. If you think we were able to add even like 1 cent to your existing knowledge, please take this knowledge to other people. Become the torch bearer. Just push the share button in the
Yeah.
feed and share this knowledge with other people who may need this knowledge. With
Yeah.
that, thank you very much.
I strongly believe that this is how we learn, this is how we grow. We know you ask questions, we ask you questions, and some mutual learning and growing. This is how it works. This is how
Absolutely.
it works. Yeah.
All right. So thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
and hopefully we will be more organized next time around. We will actually announce our regular feature that we
Yes.
are trying to. We are not trying. Trying is not the right word. We are actually building up, and maybe towards the mid of June, we will actually announce a schedule of such sessions where we will be able to evaluate your profiles and your resume very quickly, like 5 minutes for 4 or 5
Yeah.
resumes to help you do what you are doing the best. Thank you very much.